Good morning and welcome back. Last month, Metro Atlanta home prices fell to the lowest point since 1998. As prices fell, interest rates remain low. Well, that is prompting a lot of first-time home buyers to get back into the market, and many of them are now looking at new construction instead of resales. Josh Hilscher is the Vice President and Sales and Marketing with Trayton Homes. Josh is with us this morning. Josh, good morning to you.
Morning.
How's business?
It's actually very good.
Is
very
it?
Good, yes.
Which is kind of nice. I'm assuming over the last few years it's been a little scary at times in the construction world.
It's been a little tough over the last few years, but in the last 6 months or so, it really has started to kind of feel like we've hit the bottom and it's turning around.
You had to have been jumping for joy when they lowered the interest rates.
You know, interest rates have been low for so long.
You didn't think they could go any lower. I know a lot of people said there's no way these can possibly go lower, but they have.
We've all stopped saying something can't go any lower.
Yeah.
It's interest rates are unbelievable right now. It's a fantastic time to buy houses, and the people who are buying are really getting in at a great time.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I mean, what homes were selling for in 2006 and 2007, for what you can go out there and get your money for now is incomparable.
It's great.
It's great. So somebody comes to you and says, hey, you know, I'm kind of thinking about new construction, right? I want to invest in a new piece of property. I'm probably going to be around for a while or be in that home for a while. What are some of the advantages you've seen to new construction?
Well,
if somebody comes to you, I mean, are we talking like they can sit there and say, hey, I'm willing to spend this amount, or do you negotiate on the price or do you negotiate on upgrades? How does it kind of work?
That's a good question. 5 years ago, as the market started to decline, a lot of the builders still had their prices at pre-recession levels. And that's where you were hearing and seeing about these gigantic price reductions and negotiations of $50,000, $60,000. Over the last 5 years, the market has really stabilized, and we're pricing our homes at the market price now. When we buy a new neighborhood now, we don't buy it unless we can compete directly with the resales in the area, either at their price or below. So we try to offer a brand new home at the same price that older resales in the area are being sold for. So there's not those $50,000, $60,000 price reductions today because they've already been taken up front. You know, a lot of times what we do, we have incentives in each neighborhood, and we'll offer design center credits where you can go to the design center, customize your home, put the granite in it that you want, the upgraded hardwoods, a lot of the things that you might want for your house.
Are you seeing a lot of people do that over the past? When have you really started to see kind of this uptick in people buying? Have you seen it?
Yes.
It's being reported in pockets, areas of the country. It's
Yes.
starting to pick up. I want an honest answer. You know, are you really seeing? Is it true that we're seeing kind of an increase here?
We are. There's more buyers out in the market now.
Yeah.
There's more people out there that have either been sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy.
Well, maybe because banks are finally starting to lend again.
They're starting to lend. There's loans out there that they can get. We are seeing a lot more people in our neighborhoods and in looking at our houses, and we're selling a lot more houses. Now, what we haven't started to see yet is price appreciation. So we're seeing more buyers in the market, but we're not increasing prices yet.
Well, we may not. I mean, Patty Ellis from Atlanta Fine Homes is saying, hey, listen, you know, it's not the way it
That's
was
right.
a couple years ago where you could buy a house, sit on it for a couple years and make a profit on it, right? I mean, we're looking at long-term, you know, a long-term, not recession, just but a long-term of stabilizing of the prices, right?
Yes.
Where we buy a home and we're not going to be able to flip it as fast as we probably were used to seeing.
That's right.
But at the same time, those houses were all inflated. Those prices were all inflated too, with banks over-promising and people, you know, couldn't obviously pay the prices. So you are seeing an increase of people. Are you seeing more of the FHA loan people, first-time home buyers, kind of coming into new construction, or are these, you know, families who have already been maybe lost their home in the real estate, or are there a lot of first-time home buyers kind of
Yes.
getting into your world?
First-time home buyers are really starting to come back, and they're really starting to come back to new construction because the advantages of new construction work for new home buyers and people that are buying their second and third home. But if you're coming out of, say, an apartment where you're used to having things, if your sink breaks, you call the apartment complex.
Happens all the time.
Well,
it's an older townhouse I'm living in.
That's
You know,
right.
things break down all the time.
You pick up the phone and you call somebody,
Yeah.
and they go. Well,
But the lure of new construction
is we have a warranty, and we take care of a lot of those things for you, and it's an easier transition for the new home buyer to get into buying their first house without all those unknowns of buying.
What
an
about
older home.
closing costs? Just a random question. What about closing
Yeah.
costs? If I come to buy new construction, who kind of takes care of a lot of that stuff?
One of the things that we do is we offer closing cost incentive in each one of our neighborhoods. So if you, and it depends on the price range of the houses, but we pay a portion of your closing costs in every one of our neighborhoods. And that's another advantage for the new home buyer. They a lot of times are, they don't have the cash to go to closing, and so we help them with that. And so if we can take away their closing costs, then all they have to come with is their down payment.
All right, Josh Hilscher from Trading Homes. I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Still to come here this morning, how one bank is now working with the city of Atlanta to help Atlanta's housing recovery. That story more when we come back.